Wow, I can tell right off the bat that this anime is going to divide critics. Some will say it's amazing, some will say it's terrible. As for myself, I'm leaning towards the negative side. Why? Because this anime is like sugar. Sugar is great. When I have sugar, I want more sugar. Unfortunately, sugar is generally bad for you. But first of all, let's discuss why Rampo Kitan may make people think it's amazing. The obvious reason is the anime's style. This anime is a triumph when it comes to creating and maintaining a horror mystery atmosphere with its specific colour palettes of mostly black and red and its theatrical moments, which really work in the context of a mystery anime because mystery is, let's face it, theatrical. Rampo Kitan is glorious to look at. I also think it got the supporting characters right. To an extent, I found most of the support watchable and kind of interesting, like the cop who slouches and the Master of Disguise character and that woman in prison, but my favourite character is Maname, the medical examiner. She is great to watch! Those segments with her and the mannequin corpsey where they're explaining the murders are great, and in fact, this anime would have been a million times more better if Maname and Corpsey were the main characters, and we got to see them go through misadventures in medical examination. Those two are fun and energetic enough to carry a comedy series, and I highly recommend that the producers make a mini short spin-off series starring Manami and Corpsey. Everything else is a total mess. It's a mess! The major problem with Rampo Kitan is the main characters. Akeshi, the leading detective, is generic and bland and everyday. The only thing that's memorable about him is the fact that he wears a red tie. Other than that, he's a normal, cliche young detective who I don't care about. I don't care that he learned karate from the internet, because Akeshi does not stand out as a unique and interesting character. In all honesty, because his character has gone through tough times, he really could have been a stoner and solved mysteries whilst really high. That would not only make sense because he's drowning out his past pain, in the anime he actually just uses coffee and aspirin. So interesting, but him being a stoner detective would have made him so much more entertaining to watch. But don't do drugs, kids. And Hashiba? What a useless character! He's so useless that if he was not in this anime, there would be no difference. Just look at the last episode and see how that goes down. If Hashiba was not in the last episode, where he quote-unquote does something, the end result would have been exactly the same when you think about it. I wasn't too interested in the villain either. I very nearly connected with him when there was a whole episode dedicated to exploring his troubled childhood, but since his development built up to him kicking ass with a chaos theory formula that he and Akeshi was creating, I ended up being distracted from connecting with the villain. I get that chaos theory exists, but I don't think it works for a mystery story because I really don't buy it. It's kind of bullshit. Are they really expecting me to buy into a chaos theory formula that can predict every move of a fictional demon? The exception to boring main characters is Kobayashi. He's interesting because horrific deaths never faze him, which is perfect dark comedy material, but his personality is never exploited for dark comedy purposes, and after a while I realised Kobayashi was not very human, so ultimately I could not connect with him, and him looking like a girl for no reason was really distracting. Why couldn't Kobayashi just be a girl? The reason I stuck with Rampo Kitan for so long is that the mystery element very nearly worked every time it appeared. I like a good mystery. Ever since I watched Ungo, a far more superior mystery anime, but here I constantly saw glimpses of the greatness this anime was trying to showcase with its mystery moments, and even though the mysteries were not executed in a satisfying way, they were solved in too much of a quick and realistic way to be entertaining. It was those glimpses of greatness that hooked me. If you want realistic mystery solving that's fast and relatively commonsensical, then I suppose this anime may be for you, but don't expect too much mystery as it throws that mystery element out of the window towards the end for some reason. I like it when stylish anime hooks me in, but when it's hooking me into frustration after frustration, I have to recommend people avoid said stylish anime. If only the writers of Rampo Kitan understood how to execute main characters, story, and mystery. After all, they got the style and supporting characters right, and yes, I cannot believe what they did to Maname in the end. 2 stars out of 5.